my movie this week was the 1995 film Fallen Angels, which is like... There's like a Chunking Empire, or whatever the fuck. There's some other film that this was supposed to be like a sequel to, but then they made its like own spin-off or some shit. This is... it doesn't really have like a plot, I wouldn't say. So just the vibes of the movie are there's basically a few different people we follow through. There's two different storylines. There's one guy who's a hitman who's kind of just like trying to get out of the business, and he's just kind of like drifting through life. And then there's another guy who also just doesn't really know what he wants to do with his life, and he's also just kind of drifting and fucking around. And we just basically see their stories unfold and in different directions, I guess.
Fun fact. What the fuck did I write this one down? Oh. This one's a bad fun fact, but this film, it takes place exclusively at nighttime.
Wow, terrible.
Except for the very end, where they're coming out of the tunnel and it's not nighttime anymore for the first time.
Whoa.
Wow. Dylan, where are you putting this?
Unsurprisingly, there's not a ton of fun facts out there on the internet about this one.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cult classic. I'm surprised by that, honestly.
I gave it a flat C.
Okay. Tanner, how about yourself?
I am in between a C and a C minus.
Whoa. Jackson, are you going to bring us up a bit here, pal?
Yeah, I'm at a flat B. I enjoyed it.
Okay. I'm at C+. Plus.
There we go.
Wow. Positives. I think the action is good. I think it does a decent job of building intrigue. My massive negative is, as Jackson mentioned, very loose story. I don't think it's totally plotless. And I guess I don't understand how these characters connect, because we seem to be following two storylines, the hitman and then the mute guy, and I don't think they intersect at all in any way.
I mean, they do at the very end when the mute guy is taking the partner of the hitman on a ride on his motorcycle, so it really only coalesces at the very end, unless I'm misunderstanding.
I think there's one other time, but meh.
Are we certain that is the same woman?
I don't know, man. I can't tell.
I'm like 90% sure.
Because there are three women in this film. Blondie, the hit woman, and I think a girl named Charlie.
Yeah, the one who's always on the phone.
I'm 90% sure it's the partner.
But yeah, I'm like, I don't understand why we're following these two different groups. And like the handful of reviews I've seen, I'm like, oh, this is artsy fartsy nonsense.
It's all a story about love at the end of the day, Tanner. That's what it's all about. It's about how people deal with the tragedies of love in separate ways.
I guess, but like, one thing I kind of want to follow up what Tanner said is like, this movie builds up intrigue. I agree with that assessment. However, the fact that the movie fails to do anything with that intrigue, at least from my perspective, like, I was expecting something to happen. Like, okay, they're doing all this, like, what's this going to amount to? But there was never any, like, resolution to any of the plot lines, really. They were kind of just doing things to do things. That's kind of the message I got at the end of all of this. And I think it was just, like, nightlife in Hong Kong or whatever. I guess they weren't actually in Hong Kong or whatever in this movie for some reason. But, it just felt like an exploration of nightlife, I guess. And I kind of gave up on this movie having a plot. But I agree, the action was cool. I think it was shot decently, especially for, 1995. I think it was fine. The acting was, good. But, yeah, just with everything falling flat at the same time, it was just kind of whatever. I thought it was entertaining enough.
Alright, Jackson, jerk this film off. Go, go, go!
So there's a few things I do quite like a lot about this movie, and I mean, like you guys said, I think the lack of a narrative certainly does harm it a lot for me. I think, like a lot of people will say about this film, it's not really about the plot, it's about the subjects, which I can agree with, but certainly, I think it harms the film. I think it's entertaining, largely because of just the way it is shot with that like crazy wide angle. It's very interesting to look at. There's a lot of just really unique perspectives and stuff they do, like those like really close up that seem kind of far away. It's just an interesting movie to look at visually, and I think it's very well done in that regard. The soundtrack I also like a lot. It's very atmospheric. It's very fun. It works well with the setting, and also just like the setting too is super cool. Like that Hong Kong doesn't exist anymore, and it's super cool just to look at. It feels like they're walking around fucking, I don't know how to explain. You guys know what I mean. It's just a really cool fucking setting. Big fan of it with all like the mix of all the different people and stuff that live there and just all the neon stuff. It's just a really like you could just watch this movie just for the vibes. Like honestly, this is a very vibes based movie, at least for me. The vibes are fucking immaculate, and that kept me going a lot.
True.
I also just think the intertwining narratives, I mean, they don't really intertwine until the very end. I think my takeaway from it is really there's just like people trying to find, maybe purpose is the wrong way, but like something to do with their lives in different ways. And one of them goes down a really bad path and the other one goes down a good path, like the fucking guy drifting around having cheap sex and he doesn't really care about, and then ends up getting fucking killed in his line of work on his last mission. But then there's the other guy who like overcomes despair a bit with his father passing with the videos he makes, and then actually ends up getting over the girl he knew wasn't into him, and then rides off into the sunset with the other heroine. I think it's pretty. I certainly think it lags because of that a bit. There's a lot of sequences where you are just kind of like looking at somebody, nothing's really happening. But I thought it was entertaining. I think the mute guy is just funny to watch.
Yeah,
all those scenes I thought were hilarious. Like him fucking taking the whole family into the ice cream truck, all that shit.
Yeah.
It's just fun. It's ridiculous. It's kind of like a nice reprieve. It's like two sides of the same coin, basically, with their stories, where there's literally a guy going around fucking slaughtering people, and then the other side is just some fucking dude messing around, basically. I think they work as complements for similar situations, but again, it lags a bit because of the idea behind it, and yeah, that's my review.
Yeah, exactly. There's just not a lot of meat on its bones, unfortunately.
Is that it?
It's Chunking Express. I'm remembering the name of it. I think I said like Chunking Empire. I am
Chunky
interested
Express.
in watching that first movie. There are a lot of like parallels to it, like the mute guy, for example. They're not the exact same character, but they're played by the same character in that movie. And they have like a similar origin story of like the fucking bad pineapples or some shit that made him mute, which is interesting.
It's fun.
It's kind of funny, it makes me want to look at more of this guy's work because it's very, I don't know if I'd say it's art housey, but I like movies like this just because it's just interesting, like I'm not crazy about this movie or anything, but like this is like, when I think of like, this is what makes movies, I think of some shit like this, almost.
Interesting.
I don't think you guys would agree with me giving you guys all give it like a C something, but I had a fun time with it.
Alright, fellas, do we have any other thoughts on Twilight Zone? What the fuck was this movie called?
Fallen
Fallen
Angels.
Angels.
That poster is fucking sick, man. I love that poster.
Yeah,
It is pretty
sweet.
good.
It's literally ripped straight out of the movie.
I did say this while I was watching it, but the mute guy really looks like an Asian Nico.
I can see it.
I don't see it, but I appreciate the compliment.
There we go.
Alrighty, fellas, I'm sticking to my C+ for this one.
Sticking at my B.
Jackson convinced me. I'll give it a C+.
I'll go flat C.
And it lands at a C+ overall. How exciting. I think I could see us getting raked over the coals for this one. This one's a very popular movie that people
absolutely.
like a
Yeah.
lot.
Oh well,
fuck 'em.
it wouldn't be the first time.
We are not the audience for this type of movie. We're way too fucking stupid. We need to see guy in spacesuit flying around zapping bad guys, or else it doesn't make sense.
In fairness, Jack, you gave both of those movies the same rank.
Yeah, I think they're both entertaining for different reasons.
Okay.